Let's move on. Next question. The question is freedom fighter Agado Samantra served the British Indian Army. Later on, he left the British service to join the Indian National Army in 1942. Where was he deputed by Indian National Army as a Nayak in the 1st Bahadur Group? The options are A. Andaman Nicobar, B. Burma Front, C. Arunachal Pradesh, and D. Assam. The Agadu Samantra from Koraput, Orissa he belongs was a Lance Naik in the Supply Corps of British Indian Army. He joined Indian National Army as a Naik in the 1st Bahadur Group and was deployed along the Burma front. He was wounded in the battle and later died in the hospital. So, for this question, option B is the correct answer. While fighting the freedom against the British, the Subhash Chandra Bose was formed a Indian National Army in 1942. You should know this fact. Let us move on next question. The next question is match the following type question. You need to match the list 1 to list 2. The list 1 is option Central Trade Union Federation and list 2 is options political parties. Option A Center of Indian Trade Union. The political party is Indian National Congress. Option B Indian National Trade Union Congress. The political party is Bharatiya Janata Party. Option C Bharatiya Sangh Mazdoor. The political party is Communist Party of India. Option D All India Trade Union Congress. The political party is Communist Party of India, Marxist. In this list we need to find out which political party having the relationship or having the context with the trade union or sangha. The codes are below here A, B, C and D. We should go to the detailed analysis, then we find out which code is correct for this. Match the following. The Center of Indian Trade Union CITU was established under the philosophy of Karl Marx and it is affiliated to the Communist Party of India, Marxist. It is the one of the most important central trade union organization which is still today is working and it's doing its work on the field, which put in significant effort for the involvement of women in unions. The second one is INTUC was established in 1947 in cooperation with the Indian National Congress, which favored as a less militant union movement than the All India Trade Union Congress. So it's largely anti-communist. It is affiliated with the International Confederation of Free Trade Unions. The next one is Bharatiya Sangh Mazdoor is associated with Bharatiya Janata Party from the beginning. The next one is the All India Trade Union Congress is the oldest trade union federation in India. It is associated with the Communist Party. So the option A is correctly matched for in this match the following. Which one is the child, sorry, a 1 minute. Which one is option A is correct option for this question. Let us move on next question. The provision for constituting an expert committee finds place under which one among the following legislation? The options are option A, the Child and Adolescent Labor Prohibition and Regulations Act 1986. The option B, the Contract Labor Regulations and Abolition Act 1970, Building and Other Thing. The option C, the Building and the Other Construction Workers Regulations of Employment and Condition of Service Act 1996. Option D, the Interstate Migrant Workmen Regulation of Employment and Condition of Service Act 1979. In this four option, we need to find out the which act provides the provision of constituting an expert committee finds the place under this acts. Section 5 of the Building and Other Construction Workers Regulations of Employment and Condition of Service Act 1996, which is provision the expert committees. The appropriate government may constitute one or more expert committees consisting of persons specially qualified in building and other construction work for advising that government for making rules and under this act, as well as the member of the expert committee shall be paid such fees and allowances for attending the meeting of the committee as may be prescribed in the act. The act provided that no fee or allowances shall be payable to a member who is an office of the government or anybody corporate established by or under any law for the time being on force, who is already working in the government. For them, if he become a member of this committee, he cannot be get any remuneration. So answer option C is the correct answer. The Building and Other Construction Workers Regulations of Employment and Conditions of Service Act 1996 provision for constituting an expert committee to they give advice or recommendation to the government. The next question is, which one of the following is provided under the third schedule of Factories Act 1948? Option A, list of occupational hazard. Option B, list of occupational disease. Option C, list of notifiable disease. Option D, list of industries involving hazardous process. The option for this question, correct option is option C, list of notifiable disease is mentioned or provided under the third schedule of the Factories Act 1948. Let us move on the next question. Under the provisions of the Mines Act 1952, the special officer can enter a mine for the purpose of surveying, leveling and measuring after giving prior notice to the manager at least how many days in advance. The question is, before going to surveying or leveling or measuring, the special officer, before how many days in advance he need to give the notice? That is the question. The option is A, 3 days. Option B, 5 days, option C 7 days, option D 14 days. The correct answer for this question is under the section of the Mines Act 1952, power of special officer to enter measures or any etc work in person, he needs to be provide the service of government duly authorized in this behalf of by a special order in writing of the chief inspector or of an inspector may for the purpose of surveying, leveling or measuring any mine, any output therefrom, after giving not less than 3 days notice to the manager of such mine. Enter the mine and may survey, level or measure the mine or any part thereof any output they from the any time or by day or night which is comfortable for them. He can go and visit and do the measurements. It is provided that wherein option of chief inspector or any inspector an emergency exists, he may by order in writing authorize any such person to enter the mine for any of the opposite purpose without giving any such notice. Whenever, please find out here, whenever having the any emergency that time the chief inspector can visit the place without notice, but in normal days the inspector or any investigating officer he should give the 3 days period notice. So option A is the correct answer for this question. Let us move on the next question. The question is under the provisions of the Payment of Wages Act 1936, every employer of an establishment has to maintain the registers and records regarding the wages paid and deduction made, if any, from the wages and preserve the same from the date of last entry for a period of. The simple is whoever maintaining the records and paying the wages to the employee, how many years he needs to be saved for that record. That is the simple question. The here is option A 5 years, option B 7 years, option C 2 years and option D 3 years. Let us see which is the correct answer for this question. The every employer should maintain registers and records related to the person who is employed and what work he performed and how much wages he paid for the employee. All this information it should be the employer should be maintain the register and record under the act. Every register and record shall be preserved for 3 years after the date last entry made. So whenever he made the last entry for a person or employee details, from that day to next 3 years he need to be save the data. So option D is the correct answer for this question. Let us move on the next question. The next question is Article 43 of the Indian Constitution enjoins the state to endeavor through legislation or economic organization for payment of which of the following wages? The options are A. Living wage, option B. Minimum wage, option C. Fair wage and option D. Need based minimum wage. The Article 43 of Indian Constitution directs the state to endeavor to secure a living wage for all workers through legislation or economic organization. This ensures a decent standard of living for workers which is distinct from a minimum wage that only provide substances. It comes under DPSP, Directive Principles and State Policy. The state means the central government or state government both can be made policies or laws to give the living wages. So option A is correct answer for this question. The next question is the value of long-term investment in shares is subject to wide fluctuations. A provision created against fluctuation in value of investments is based on the convention of option A conservatism, option B full disclosure, option C materiality, option D consistency. The correct answer for this question is conservatism. The concept of conservatism, also called prudence, provides guidance for recording transaction in the book of accounts, and it is based on the policy of playing safe. Losses shall be recognized immediately, but not recognizing the gains until realized. It's called conservatism approach. So, correct option for this question is option A. The next question is which one of the following aspects is not covered in audit? Every company has auditor for to audit their financial transactions. So option A examination of the system of accounting and internal control. Option B preparation of books of accounts. Option C reporting to the appropriate person or body. Option D verification of the authenticity and validity of transaction. Here we need to find out what concept is audit means what. Auditor, what can be done, what his main purpose of the work. An audit is an independent examination of financial information of any entity, whether profit oriented or not, and irrespective of its size or legal form. When such an examination is conducted with a view to expressing an opinion thereon, therefore, preparation of books of accounts is not in the scope of audit. So, option B is the correct answer for this question. Let us move on the next question. The next question is which of the following sets the scope, timing and directions of the audit and guides the development of more detailed audit plan? Options are A audit program, B overall audit strategy, and C completion memorandum, and option D audit plan. The correct answer for this question is audit strategy sets the scope, timing and direction of the audit, and it guides the development of the more detailed audit plan. So option B is the correct answer for this question. Let us move on the next question. Goodwill account is a or an option A personal account, option B real account, option C nominal account, option D expenses account. The correct answer for this question is real account. Real accounts are the accounts that refers to possession of the business. The possessions may be tangible or intangible. The possessions are assets of a business. Normally, the books of business contains tangible assets that have physical existence. However, there are intangible assets as well as that can be appear in the books of accounts. For instance, copyrights, trademarks, goodwill, patents are intangible nature, but a business certainly possesses them. The balances of these real accounts are not closed at the financial year end but are carried forward as opening balances for the new financial year. So, goodwill is an intangible asset and hence it is classified as a real account. So for this question, option B is the correct answer for this question.